Hello, and welcome back to Sleeping Gift. Tonight, allow me to share a story to accompany you as you drift off to sleep. Before we go any further, take a slow and gentle breath. Let the calm air fill your chest, then slowly exhale. Release every burden you have been carrying. Let your imagination gently guide you into this story. Now, let's begin the story. Breathe in, breathe out, and let me take you away for a moment into a story. Peaceful Night by the Starry Pond, bedtime story for insomnia relief. Before we enter this story, take a deep breath in and exhale slowly. Now, it is time for us to step into this journey. In the soft hush of night, you rest so gently in your bed, your body sinking deeper into the quiet comfort of the sheets that cradle you with such tender care. The world beyond has faded away, leaving only this peaceful stillness where everything moves with the slowest, kindest rhythm. Far from any rush, you find yourself quietly observing a small pond nestled in the gentle embrace of darkness, its surface barely disturbed as the reflections of distant stars begin to shimmer ever so softly upon the water. The air around feels cool and calm, wrapping around you like a light, soothing blanket that invites your breathing to slow without any effort at all. The pond lies there in perfect serenity, its edges softened by the velvet shadows of surrounding grasses that sway with the faintest breath of a breeze. Above, the night sky stretches wide and endless, scattered with tiny points of starlight that twinkle in their own unhurried way, each one casting a delicate glow that finds its way down to the water's surface. Those reflections appear as gentle silver whispers, stretching and folding with the subtlest ripples that travel across the pond like the softest sighs. There is no hurry in their movement, only a slow, flowing dance that mirrors the calm settling over everything. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, the scene unfolds before your inner sight with such warmth and safety. The water holds still for long moments, its dark depths peaceful and inviting, before the lightest touch of air sends another faint ripple outward, causing the star reflections to waver just a little, then settle once more into their quiet shimmer. The sounds are few and far between, perhaps the occasional soft murmur of a tiny insect hidden in the grass, or the distant, barely audible rustle of leaves, all blending into a background of profound tranquility that eases every thought away. Your body feels heavier now, resting so completely as the night air carries a subtle, fresh scent from the pond, like clean earth and cool moisture mingling together in the gentlest way. The stars continue their slow reflections on the water, each ripple arriving with such patience that it feels like time itself has softened, stretching out the moments into something endless and kind. Nothing demands attention here, only this peaceful observation of the pond and its starry surface, where light and water meet in perfect, untroubled harmony. The stillness deepens gradually around the pond, its surface growing even calmer as the night holds everything in a warm, protective hush. You remain safely in bed, simply witnessing it all, with a quiet, open awareness that requires no energy, no focus beyond this soft presence. The reflections ripple very gently once more, almost like a lullaby in visual form, inviting your eyelids to grow heavier while the scene lingers in its serene beauty. Every detail arrives slowly, the pond's edge blending into the surrounding dark with such smoothness, the water responding to the air with movements so minimal they feel like tender caresses rather than changes. The stars above watch over it all, their light steady and reassuring as it dances faintly on the surface below. There is only this gentle rhythm now, the slow breathing of the night itself, matching the easy rise and fall of your own chest as you rest deeper into the comfort surrounding you. The atmosphere feels alive with quiet safety, the small pond a perfect anchor for this peaceful night, where nothing stirs abruptly and everything unfolds with the softest care. Reflections of stars continue their subtle play across the water, each one a tiny point of calm that eases the mind further into relaxation. You are held so safely here, observing without any need to move or think, simply allowing the scene to wash over you like the gentlest wave. As the moments stretch on, the pond remains a haven of stillness, its surface occasionally kissed by another faint ripple that travels outward and fades away, leaving the starlight to settle once again in its quiet glow. The entire space feels wrapped in tender protection, the night air cool against imagined skin, the sounds melting into silence that supports deep rest. Everything softens here, inviting you to drift without resistance, held by the peaceful observation of this starry pond in the heart of night. The gentle rhythm continues, unhurried and kind, as the reflections shimmer with such delicate persistence on the water's surface. Your rest grows even more complete, the scene a soothing companion that asks nothing but offers everything in its calm, flowing presence. The pond and its starry reflections become a quiet world of their own, where peace reigns supreme and relaxation flows naturally, like a slow, endless breath shared between you and the stillness of night. In the deepening quiet of night, you remain so peacefully settled in your bed, the sheets embracing you with an even softer warmth as your body melts further into complete ease. The small pond continues to rest in its gentle stillness, its surface now showing the slow, repeating patterns of those faint ripples that come and go with the patience of a loving sigh. The reflections of the stars above linger there, shimmering in their unhurried way, each tiny gleam stretching and softening across the water as the lightest breeze brushes over the pond once more, creating another delicate wave that travels outward ever so gradually before fading into calm. These small movements begin to repeat with a tender rhythm, the air stirring just enough to send another ripple gliding across the surface, where the starlight dances in response, its silver threads weaving softly together before settling again into quiet reflection. The pond holds this gentle cycle without any haste, the water responding to each breath of wind with the same kind patience, allowing the reflections to waver and then return to their peaceful state. Around the edges, the soft grasses nod ever so slightly, their blades catching the faint starlight in a way that feels like a slow, comforting sway, repeating in harmony with the water's own subtle motions. As you lie there with eyes half closed, the scene unfolds with such soothing consistency, the pond's surface mirroring the night sky in its own tranquil manner. Another ripple arrives, slower than the last, its path across the water barely noticeable yet present, causing the star reflections to shift in long, flowing lines that dissolve back into stillness with the gentlest touch. The sounds remain distant and mild, perhaps a single soft note from a hidden creature in the grass or the quiet lap of water against the pond's edge, all blending into a background that supports this repeating calm without drawing any attention away from the deep relaxation settling over you. Your breathing has found its own slow pace now, matching the unhurried rhythm of the pond, where each faint ripple seems to invite another moment of rest. The fresh, earthy scent from the water drifts lightly through the night air, cool and clean, wrapping around the scene like a tender veil that deepens the sense of safety and peace. The stars continue their quiet watch, their light reflecting on the pond's surface with the same steady gentleness, each ripple repeating the soft pattern of movement and return, like the natural flow of a lullaby without words. The small routines of the night play out so kindly around the pond, the breeze arriving in spaced intervals to stir the water ever so lightly, sending those star reflections into their delicate dance before everything quiets once more. The grasses at the edge sway in response, their motion so minimal and repetitive that it becomes part of the soothing background, a gentle accompaniment to the pond's own peaceful breathing. Nothing changes abruptly here, only these soft repetitions that ease every part of you deeper into the comfort of your bed, where you simply observe with half-closed eyes and an open, resting heart. Another faint ripple crosses the surface, its arrival timed with such care that it feels like the night itself is exhaling slowly, allowing the water to respond and then settle back into its profound tranquility. The reflections of the stars shimmer in response, their glows stretching across the pond in long, smooth arcs that gradually fade, leaving the surface almost mirror-like once again. This cycle continues with tender consistency, each movement smaller and more spaced than before, inviting your awareness to soften along with the scene. The pond remains a haven of gentle repetition, its dark waters holding the starlight with such quiet devotion, the edges blending seamlessly into the surrounding night where shadows rest without disturbance. The air feels even cooler now, carrying that subtle moisture from the pond that refreshes without overwhelming, supporting the slow descent into deeper calm. Your body lies so completely at ease, the repeating patterns of ripple and stillness becoming a natural rhythm that guides you further into relaxation. Safe and held by the night's tender care, these small, repeating movements around the pond create a sense of endless peace, the star reflections continuing their soft play across the water with no beginning or end, only this flowing continuity that mirrors the gentle rise and fall of your own breath. The grasses nod again in their quiet way, the water laps ever so faintly at the edge, and another ripple begins its slow journey, all blending into the same soothing atmosphere that fills the space with warmth and safety. There is only this kind of observation now, the pond and its starry surface offering a perfect, untroubled presence that asks nothing while giving everything in its calm embrace. As the night holds you both, the pond and your resting form, the repetitions grow even more measured, each ripple arriving like a soft reminder to let go a little more, to sink deeper into the stillness where everything feels protected and serene. The reflections shimmer with delicate persistence, the water responding with the same patient grace, creating a world of quiet harmony that surrounds you completely. Your eyelids feel heavier in the gentlest way, the scene a constant, loving companion that eases every tension away, leaving only the peaceful observation of this starry pond in the heart of the still, welcoming night. In the ever-softening hush of the night, you rest so deeply now in your bed, the gentle weight of the covers holding you with infinite tenderness as your body surrenders completely to the quiet comfort surrounding you. The small pond lies in its tranquil embrace, its surface responding with even slower movements to the faintest whispers of air that drift across it, each ripple taking its time to form and travel outward in long, languid paths before dissolving back into perfect stillness. The reflections of the stars above appear with greater clarity in these lengthening moments of calm, their silver light spreading across the water in delicate, detailed patterns that shimmer and hold before the next gentle disturbance arrives with such patient grace. Every detail of the pond unfolds more slowly now, the dark water holding the starlight like a cherished secret, its surface barely moving as another ripple begins its journey from one edge toward the center. The motion so unhurried that you can almost feel each tiny wave as it gently lifts and lowers the reflections in a flowing dance of light and shadow. The grasses surrounding the pond sway with the same measured slowness, their soft blades bending ever so slightly in the cool night air, catching the faintest glimmers from above and releasing them again without any haste. The edges of the pond blend seamlessly into the velvet darkness, where tiny droplets of moisture cling to the stems, adding a subtle texture that deepens the peaceful observation. As you lie there with eyes half closed, the scene reveals itself in richer, more intricate layers, the star reflections stretching into long, shimmering threads that follow the slow curve of each ripple, their light fracturing into soft fragments before reuniting in the water's quiet mirror. The sounds have grown even more sparse and gentle, perhaps the faintest sigh of wind through the grasses or the almost imperceptible lap of water meeting the earthen bank, each one arriving like a distant, soothing note that fades before it can fully form. The air carries a cooler, fresher essence from the pond, a clean and earthy fragrance that lingers softly around the entire space, inviting your breath to match the pond's own deliberate rhythm. The movements continue to lengthen in their duration, another ripple forming with exquisite slowness at the far side of the pond, traveling across the surface with such care that the starlight above seems to pause in its reflection, waiting patiently for the water to settle once more into its smooth, glassy state. The details become almost hypnotic in their gentleness, the way the light catches on the water's subtle curves, the faint shimmer of moisture on the surrounding leaves, the deep quiet that allows every tiny element to be noticed without effort. Your awareness rests here so completely, simply witnessing the pond and its starry surface with a presence that requires nothing more than this soft, open attention. Time itself feels stretched and kind in this space, each moment expanding to hold the intricate beauty of the scene as the next faint ripple begins its slow path, causing the reflections to waver in detailed, flowing lines that gradually soften and disappear into the pond's tranquil depths. The grasses nod with the same unhurried pace, their motion a quiet echo of the water's gentle activity, all blending together in a harmonious, slow dance that deepens the atmosphere of profound safety and calm. The night air feels heavier with peace now, wrapping the pond and your resting form in layers of tender protection where nothing needs to hurry or change. These slower, more detailed observations continue without interruption, the pond's surface holding the star reflections with increasing serenity as each ripple takes longer to complete its journey, allowing the light to linger in beautiful, intricate patterns before everything returns to stillness. The subtle scents and sounds weave through the scene like threads of silk, the cool moisture from the water mingling with the earthy warmth of the banks, the occasional soft rustle fading into silence that feels like a warm embrace. Your body lies so safely in bed, every muscle relaxed as the gentle details of the pond wash over you, guiding you further into this deep, effortless rest. The scene grows richer in its slowness, another ripple emerging with deliberate care, its path across the water revealing even finer nuances of the starlight's dance, the way it sparkles and softens in perfect harmony with the night. The surrounding darkness cradles the pond with such loving stillness, the edges soft and inviting, the water responding to every minimal touch of air with the same patient grace that invites your own breathing to slow even more. There is only this tender focus now, the pond and its reflections, offering a world of quiet beauty that supports complete surrender to the soothing night. As the moments lengthen further, the details settle into an even more profound calm, the star reflections shimmering with exquisite patience on the pond's surface, each small movement a gentle reminder of the safety held within this peaceful observation. The grasses continue their slow, subtle sway, the air remains cool and fresh, and the entire space feels alive with a deep, restorative quiet that eases every part of you into deeper relaxation. You remain here, safely resting, simply present with the slow, detailed beauty of the starry pond in the heart of the still and welcoming night, where everything softens with such tender care. The gentle rhythm persists, unhurried and kind, allowing the intricate patterns of light and water to unfold with the slowest grace, deepening the sense of peace that surrounds you completely as you drift ever more softly in your bed. In the quiet embrace of the deepening night, you rest with such profound gentleness in your bed, every part of your body sinking further into the soft, supportive comfort that holds you without any demand. The small pond continues its serene presence, its surface now marked by the lightest observations of starlight that appear and fade with the most delicate subtlety, each reflection shimmering for long, untroubled moments before a faint ripple allows it to dissolve softly back into the water's calm expanse. These observations of light and movement arrive without strong emotion, simply existing as gentle visual whispers that come into awareness and then ease away, leaving behind an even deeper sense of tranquility. The pond lies so peacefully under the vast night sky, its dark waters reflecting the scattered stars with a soft, almost dreamlike quality, where the silver gleams stretch across the surface in long, flowing patterns that hold steady for extended periods before the subtlest shift in the air causes them to waver ever so slightly and then settle once more. Light observations drift through the scene, the way a particular star's reflection catches the eye for a brief, tender moment only to fade as another ripple begins its slow journey, creating faint circles that expand and disappear without trace. The surrounding grasses remain nearly motionless now, their soft forms blending into the shadows with a quiet harmony that supports this gentle fading of visual details. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, these light observations of the pond unfold with such soothing neutrality, the star reflections appearing in their quiet beauty and then softening away as the water responds to the faintest breath of wind, with movements so minimal they feel like mere suggestions rather than changes. The scene holds a warm, safe atmosphere where nothing pulls or insists, only these delicate plays of light that come and go like soft clouds passing across a moonlit sky, each one inviting a deeper release into relaxation. The air around the pond carries its cool, fresh scent with gentle persistence, mingling with the earthy tones of the banks in a way that feels comforting and unobtrusive, allowing your breathing to remain slow and effortless. Another faint ripple travels across the pond's surface, causing the starlight reflections to shift in subtle light patterns that appear for a moment and then fade into the stillness, their presence observed without any intensity, simply noted and allowed to dissolve back into the peaceful dark of the water. The edges of the pond remain softly defined in the night, where tiny reflections of distant light catch on the moisture along the grasses, appearing briefly before blending seamlessly into the surrounding calm. These observations continue in their unhurried manner, the light on the water shimmering and softening, creating a rhythm that feels like the natural ebb and flow of rest itself. Your awareness stays so open and calm as these gentle visual elements play out before you, the pond, a steady anchor of serenity where star reflections hold for long moments and then ease away with the arrival of another slow ripple, their details light and transient without ever disturbing the profound quiet. The sounds are almost entirely absent now, perhaps the very faintest whisper of air moving through the leaves or the softest touch of water against the bank, all melting into a background of deep silence that enhances the peaceful observation. The night feels warmer in its protection, cradling the pond in your resting form, in layers of tender safety where everything softens without effort. The light observations of the scene persist with increasing gentleness, a star's reflection catching the surface in a delicate glow that lingers and then fades as the water's surface smooths once more, the entire process unfolding with such care that it invites your eyelids to grow heavier in the kindest way. The grasses stand nearly still, their subtle textures barely visible in the darkness, adding to the soft, fading quality of the visuals that come and go around the pond. There is only this quiet witnessing now, the starlight on the water appearing and softening, the ripples arriving like distant memories that dissolve harmlessly into the calm. As moments stretch onward in their soothing length, the pond's surface continues to host these light, gentle observations of reflected stars that shimmer for brief periods and then return to the water's tranquil state, each cycle reinforcing the deep peace that fills the space. The cool air from the pond drifts lightly, its fresh scent a subtle companion to the visual softness, while the surrounding darkness wraps everything in a protective hush. Your body remains so completely at ease in bed, every breath aligning with the slow, fading rhythm of the scene, where light and stillness meet in perfect, untroubled harmony. These observations grow even lighter and more transient, the star reflections on the pond appearing with delicate clarity before easing away as another faint ripple crosses the surface. Their presence, a soft reminder of the safety held within this night. The entire scene feels wrapped in warmth and care. The pond, a gentle world of quiet beauty that supports your complete surrender to rest, with nothing to hold on to and everything to release into the soothing darkness. The light on the water continues its tender play, fading softly with each passing moment, inviting you deeper into the peaceful stillness where the starry pond rests in its calm, welcoming embrace. The gentle energy of the night descends further, the observations of the pond and its reflections becoming softer still, light and fleeting in their beauty as they blend into the profound tranquility that surrounds you so completely, allowing sleep to draw nearer with the tenderest care. In the profound and tender quiet of the night, you rest so completely now in your bed, your body feeling wonderfully heavy and supported as every muscle releases into the soft, enveloping comfort that surrounds you with endless care. The small pond lies in utter serenity, its surface barely disturbed as the focus gently shifts toward the deep silence that envelops everything, where even the faintest ripples have slowed to almost nothing, allowing the reflections of the stars to rest in long, unbroken moments of stillness. The silence feels like a warm, protective blanket, wrapping the pond and your resting form in layers of peaceful emptiness that invite your breathing to become slower, deeper, and more natural with each passing moment. The air around the pond holds a profound hush, where sounds have faded into near absence, leaving only the subtle rhythm of your own breath and the imagined gentle rise and fall of the water's surface in perfect harmony. The star reflections shimmer with such quiet persistence on the dark water, their light steady and soft, without any movement to interrupt the calm, creating a space where silence itself becomes the gentle companion that eases every thought away. Your awareness rests here so openly, simply present with this deep silence and the slow, effortless breathing that mirrors the pond's tranquil state. Each inhale drawing in cool, fresh air, scented lightly with the clean moisture from the water. Each exhale releasing any remaining tension into the night. As you lie with half-closed eyes, the silence deepens further around the pond, the grasses standing motionless in the velvet darkness, their presence felt more than seen in the profound quiet that allows every subtle sensation to be noticed without effort. The water remains almost perfectly still now, its surface a dark mirror reflecting the stars and gentle, unwavering points of light that seem to breathe along with you, expanding and softening in the vast stillness. Breathing becomes the soft center of this moment, slow and rhythmic, filling your body with calm while the pond holds its peaceful silence, the two blending together in a tender unity that supports the deepest relaxation. The night air feels cooler and more embracing, carrying that subtle, earthy freshness from the pond that lingers softly without demanding attention, simply existing as part of the silence that cradles everything. Each breath arrives with such patience, drawing in the quiet essence of the scene and allowing it to settle deeply within, while the star reflections on the water continue their gentle, motionless glow, held in the profound hush where no ripple disturbs the calm for long stretches of time. The silence feels alive with safety, a kind and nurturing presence that whispers of complete protection, inviting your eyelids to grow even heavier as breathing slows once more. In this space of deep silence and easy breathing, the pond exists as a haven of stillness, its dark waters absorbing the starlight with such quiet devotion that the reflections seem to merge with the surrounding night, becoming part of the peaceful emptiness. Your own breath continues its slow, natural rhythm, matching the vast quiet of the scene, each cycle bringing a deeper sense of release and comfort as the silence wraps around you like the gentlest arms. The grasses and the earthen banks remain utterly still, their forms lost in the darkness, contributing to the profound hush that allows only the softest awareness of the pond and its starry surface to remain. The focus lingers tenderly on the silence and breathing, the pond's surface so calm that the star reflections appear almost suspended in time, their light a soft constant in the quiet night while your chest rises and falls with increasing slowness and ease. The cool air from the water mingles with the warmth of your bed, creating a perfect balance that deepens the relaxation, where every exhale carries you further into the soothing embrace of the night. There is only this gentle presence now, the deep silence holding the pond in its tranquil state, your breathing aligning so naturally with the calm that surrounds everything. As moments extend in their unhurried length, the silence grows even richer and more enveloping, the star reflections on the pond resting in complete stillness as breathing becomes the only soft movement, slow and comforting, like the night itself, gently sighing in rest. The entire scene feels bathed in a warm, protective quiet, where the pond and your resting body exist in harmonious peace. The silence, a tender guide that eases every part of you toward deeper sleep. The fresh scent of the pond drifts lightly through this hush, subtle and kind, supporting the slow rhythm of breath that continues without any effort at all. The profound silence and gentle breathing create a world of pure tranquility around the small pond, where the star reflections hold steady in their quiet glow, undisturbed and serene, inviting your awareness to soften completely into this peaceful observation. Your body lies so safely supported, every breath a soft wave of calm that aligns with the stillness of the water, the night air cool and fresh against the warmth of rest. Here, in this deep quiet, everything feels held with infinite care. The pond a silent witness to your gentle descent into relaxation, where breathing and silence blend into one soothing, endless flow. The energy softens further as the silence and breathing become the gentle anchors of the night, the pond resting in its profound calm with starlight reflections that shimmer ever so faintly in the vast hush, guiding you safely toward the edge of deep, restorative sleep in the tender stillness that surrounds you so completely. In the soft and enveloping quiet of the night, you rest with such complete gentleness in your bed, your body feeling wonderfully heavy and at ease as the covers hold you in their warm, protective embrace. The small pond continues its profound stillness, where the repetition of visual details and small sounds now becomes the gentle focus, returning again and again with the slowest, kindest rhythm that soothes every part of your awareness. The reflections of the stars on the water's surface shimmer in their quiet repetition, appearing as soft silver points that hold for long moments before the faintest ripple causes them to waver ever so slightly, then settle back into their calm, repeating pattern of gentle light and dark. These visual details repeat with tender consistency around the pond, the star reflections stretching across the dark surface in long, flowing lines that shimmer and soften, each cycle unfolding with such patience that it feels like a natural, comforting breath. The water remains nearly motionless, yet every so often the lightest touch of air sends another faint ripple gliding outward, repeating the subtle movement that causes the reflections to dance delicately before returning once more to their peaceful state. The surrounding grasses stand almost completely still, their soft forms repeating the same quiet presence in the night shadows, blending seamlessly with the pond's edges in a gentle, recurring harmony that deepens the sense of safety. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, the repetition of these visual details and small sounds creates a soothing rhythm, the starlight on the water returning again and again in its delicate shimmer, while the occasional softest sound, a tiny lap of water against the bank or a faint rustle in the distant grass, repeats like a distant, loving whisper that fades into the background without effort. The pond's surface hosts this gentle repetition, the reflections of stars appearing in their soft glow, then shifting with the next slow ripple, then settling again, each cycle inviting your breathing to align with the same unhurried pace. The cool, fresh scent from the pond drifts lightly through the air, repeating its subtle, earthy presence that feels clean and comforting, wrapping the entire scene in layers of tender calm. The small sounds repeat so sparingly and kindly, perhaps the almost imperceptible sigh of wind moving through the grasses once more, or the gentle touch of water meeting the earthen edge, each one arriving and fading in the same slow rhythm as the visual details on the pond. The star reflections continue their quiet repetition, shimmering across the surface in patterns that return with delicate persistence, the light catching and releasing in a way that feels like the night itself gently breathing along with you. Your awareness rests so openly here, simply observing these repeating elements with no need for focus, allowing them to wash over you like soft waves that ease every tension deeper into relaxation. Again and again, the gentle visuals return, the pond's dark water holding the starlight in its calm mirror, the faint ripples repeating their slow journey across the surface, causing the reflections to waver and settle in their familiar, soothing cycle. The grasses echo this repetition with their near motionless presence, standing quietly in the darkness as small sounds blend into the background, repeating the profound quiet that supports complete rest. The night air feels cooler and fresher with each subtle return of the pond's scent, a gentle reminder of the peaceful space that holds you so safely in your bed. These repetitions of visual details and small sounds become even more dominant in their softness, the star reflections shimmering repeatedly on the water with such tender consistency, each faint ripple repeating the delicate dance of light before everything quiets once more. The sounds arrive like distant echoes, soft and sparse, repeating the same calming effect that deepens the atmosphere around the pond, where everything feels protected and serene. Your breathing matches this gentle rhythm naturally, slow and effortless, as the repeating patterns of the starry surface invite you further into the warm comfort of the night. The pond remains a haven of these quiet repetitions, the starlight on its surface returning again and again in soft, flowing shimmers, the small ripples and sounds weaving a tapestry of calm that feels endless and kind. The surrounding darkness cradles it all with loving stillness, the visual details repeating their gentle play without any haste, allowing your eyelids to grow heavier with each cycle. There is only this tender observation now, the repetition of star reflections and faint sounds creating a world of profound peace that surrounds you completely. As the night holds you both in its gentle embrace, the visual details and small sounds continue their soothing repetition around the small pond, the star reflections shimmering softly on the water's surface with patient grace, each faint movement or sound returning like a lullaby that eases you deeper into rest. The cool air and fresh scent repeat their subtle presence, supporting the slow rhythm that guides everything toward even greater tranquility. Your body lies so safely supported, every part relaxing further as these gentle repetitions fill the space with warmth and safety. The starry pond, a constant, loving companion in the heart of the still night. The repetitions soften gradually, the star reflections on the pond returning with ever gentler persistence, the small sounds fading into longer stretches of quiet, creating a rhythm that feels like the night itself, slowly exhaling in deep, restorative peace, inviting you to drift ever more softly in its tender care. In the deepening softness of the night, you rest with such profound ease in your bed, your body feeling completely supported and heavy in the gentlest way, as the covers cradle you with infinite tenderness. The small pond now rests in near complete tranquility, where almost all activity has gently finished, leaving only the smallest, faintest movements to linger with delicate patience. The reflections of the stars on the water's surface shimmer with the slowest possible grace, barely disturbed as the last traces of any ripple fade into long, unbroken stillness, allowing the light to hold steady and quiet, minimal presence. These remaining small movements appear with exquisite slowness around the pond, perhaps the very slightest suggestion of a breath of air that causes an almost imperceptible shift across the surface, making the star reflections waver for the briefest moment before settling once more into perfect calm. The grasses at the edge stand utterly motionless now, their soft forms lost in the velvet darkness, with only the tiniest, occasional nod that feels more like a memory of movement than any actual change. The water itself remains so still that it seems to breathe in the slowest rhythm imaginable, its dark expanse holding the scattered starlight with tender devotion, where even the faintest activity has nearly come to its peaceful end. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, the scene unfolds with only these minimal remnants of motion. The pond, a haven of near stillness, where the star reflections rest in their soft, unchanging glow for extended moments, interrupted only by the gentlest hint of a ripple that travels no more than a whisper across the surface before dissolving completely. The sounds have faded to the point of near silence, Perhaps one final, distant, soft lap of water against the bank that arrives and fades without trace, leaving the profound quiet to embrace everything. The cool, fresh scent from the pond lingers subtly in the air, its presence now so light and steady that it becomes part of the background calm, supporting the deep relaxation that fills your body so completely. The small movements that remain are nearly finished, occurring with such infrequent and tender care that they feel like the last gentle sighs of the night. The starlight on the water shimmering with minimal disturbance as everything around the pond settles into its final, peaceful state. Your awareness rests here so openly and effortlessly, simply present with these faint traces of activity that require no attention, allowing them to ease away naturally as your breathing slows even further into its own quiet rhythm. The surrounding darkness holds the pond with loving protection, the edges soft and blended, where only the smallest suggestions of motion persist in the vast tranquility. These nearly finished activities continue with the utmost gentleness, another almost invisible shift on the water's surface, causing the star reflections to adjust ever so slightly before returning to their steady, calm glow. The entire process unfolding with such patience that it invites complete surrender. The grasses offer no more than the faintest imagined sway, their stillness now dominant as the pond rests in its serene beauty, the starlight above mirroring below in near perfect harmony. The night air feels warmer in its embrace, the subtle moisture from the water blending into the peaceful atmosphere that cradles you so safely in your bed. Only the smallest movements linger now, the pond's surface hosting the gentlest remnants of reflection and ripple, where the stars shimmer with delicate persistence, and the water responds with the slowest, most minimal grace imaginable. The sounds have all but disappeared, leaving a silence so deep and kind that it feels like a tender blanket wrapping around the entire scene. Your body lies so wonderfully relaxed, every breath a soft, effortless wave that aligns with the near stillness of the pond, guiding you further into the warm comfort of rest, where nothing remains to disturb the peace. The activities around the small pond are nearly finished, with only these faint, lingering traces of motion that appear and fade with such care. The star reflections, holding steady on the dark water as the night descends into even greater tranquility. The earthen banks and surrounding shadows remain utterly calm, contributing to the profound sense of safety that fills the space, where the gentle observation requires no energy at all. The cool air drifts lightly, its fresh scent a subtle companion to the minimal movements that continue their slow, final descent into stillness. As the night holds everything in its tender care, the small movements that remain grow even quieter and more infrequent. The pond, a world of near perfect calm, where the starlight reflections shimmer with the gentlest persistence, barely touched by any remaining activity. Your resting form feels so completely at ease, the scene a soft, loving presence that supports the deepest relaxation as these last traces of motion ease away like distant echoes. There is only this gentle awareness now, the nearly finished activities of the pond and its starry surface offering a final, peaceful rhythm that invites you to drift ever more softly. The energy of the night softens further still, with only the smallest, kindest movements lingering around the pond, the star reflections resting in their quiet glow as everything prepares to dissolve into the profound stillness that surrounds you with such warm, protective love, allowing sleep to draw nearer in the gentlest possible way. In the ever-deepening softness of the night, you rest with such complete and tender surrender in your bed, your body feeling wonderfully heavy and safely held as the covers embrace you with the warmest, most protective care. The small pond now rests in an even quieter state, where the light and sounds have begun to dim ever so gently, the atmosphere growing softer and more hushed with each slow moment that passes. The reflections of the stars on the water's surface shimmer with reduced brightness, their silver glow softening into subtler tones as the night's darkness settles more fully around the pond, creating a space of increasing quiet and calm. The light from the stars above appears to fade ever so gradually on the pond's dark surface, the reflections growing fainter and more delicate as they blend into the surrounding stillness, their presence becoming a gentle haze of softness rather than clear points of shimmer. The sounds, already sparse, dim further into near silence, with only the faintest imagined echoes lingering before they too melt away into the deepening hush. The air around the pond feels cooler and heavier with peace, its fresh, earthy scent softening as it drifts lightly through the night, wrapping the entire scene in layers of tender tranquility that invite your breathing to slow even more naturally and deeply. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, the dimming of light and sounds unfolds with such kind patience, the star reflections on the water losing their earlier clarity and becoming softer, more diffused glows that rest quietly on the surface without any disturbance. The pond itself seems to settle deeper into the night's embrace, its edges blurring gently into the velvet darkness where the grasses stand motionless and nearly invisible, their presence felt only as part of the quieting atmosphere. The entire space grows quieter still, the dimming process so gradual and gentle that it feels like the night itself is slowly exhaling, allowing everything to release into greater peace without any effort. The light continues to soften around the pond, the star reflections dimming into faint, hazy shimmers that appear almost dreamlike on the water's calm expanse, their glow fading with tender care as the surrounding darkness deepens its protective hold. Sounds have dimmed to the point where they're barely perceptible, perhaps one last distant whisper that fades before it can fully form, leaving the profound quiet to expand and embrace the scene with loving warmth. Your awareness rests so openly here, simply present with this gentle dimming that eases every part of you further into relaxation, your breath aligning with the slowing rhythm of the night. As the atmosphere grows even quieter, the pond becomes a softer silhouette in the night, its surface hosting the dimming reflections of stars that shimmer with decreasing intensity, blending seamlessly into the calm water where light and dark meet in harmonious gentleness. The cool air from the pond carries its subtle scent with less prominence now, the freshness softening into a background warmth that supports the deepening hush. The grasses and banks remain utterly still, their forms lost in the dimming light, contributing to the quiet atmosphere that feels like a tender veil drawn slowly over everything. The light and sounds continue their gentle descent into dimness, the star reflections on the pond growing fainter and more ethereal, their presence a soft reminder of the peace that fills the space as the night holds you both in its caring embrace. Your body lies so completely at ease, every muscle relaxed as the dimming surroundings invite complete surrender, the quiet growing richer and more enveloping with each passing moment. There is only this tender observation of the softening scene, where the pond and its starry surface rest in increasing tranquility, guiding you safely toward deeper rest. The atmosphere around the small pond grows quieter still, the light dimming with such kindness that the reflections become barely visible whispers of silver on the dark water, the sounds having faded almost entirely into the vast silence that now dominates with gentle authority. The night air feels even more soothing in its coolness, its scent a faint, comforting presence that lingers softly as everything softens further. Your breathing remains slow and effortless, matching the dimming energy of the scene that surrounds you with such warm protection. As moments stretch in their peaceful length, the light and sounds have dimmed to their gentlest state. The pond, a quiet haven where the star reflections shimmer with the softest, most subdued glow, the entire space filled with a profound hush that eases every tension away. The surrounding darkness cradles the pond with infinite care, the atmosphere rich with serenity as the dimming process continues its slow, loving descent. You remain safely in bed, observing this gentle quieting with half-closed eyes, your body and mind drifting softly in the tender stillness. The energy of the night descends even more softly now, with the light and sounds continuing to dim around the small pond, the star reflections fading into the calm water as the atmosphere grows ever quieter and more peaceful, inviting you to rest completely in the warm, protective embrace of the still and welcoming night, where everything gently prepares for the deepest calm. In the profound and tender stillness of the night, you rest with such complete surrender in your bed, your body feeling deeply heavy and wonderfully supported as the soft covers hold you in their warmest, most protective embrace. The small pond now exists in near total tranquility, where almost no activity remains, leaving only a gentle awareness of the space itself, quiet and unchanging in its serene beauty. The reflections of the stars on the water's surface have softened to the faintest, most delicate presence, barely noticeable as they rest in the dark, calm expanse with the gentlest possible glow. The pond lies so peacefully under the vast night sky, its surface almost perfectly still, the starlight reflections appearing as subtle hints of silver that blend softly into the water without any movement to disturb their quiet rest. The surrounding area feels wrapped in complete calm, the grasses and earthen banks lost in the deep darkness where only the softest awareness of their presence lingers, contributing to the profound sense of emptiness and peace. There is almost nothing left to observe beyond this gentle awareness of the pond and the space it occupies, a quiet world of stillness that invites your breathing to become even slower and more effortless. As you lie there with half-closed eyes, the scene holds only this soft, open awareness, the pond, a silent haven where the star reflections exist as faint, hazy shimmers that require no focus, simply existing in the vast quiet that surrounds everything. The air feels cool and still, its fresh, earthy scent from the water, now so subtle that it becomes part of the background tranquility, drifting lightly without drawing any attention. The entire space feels alive only with this gentle awareness, where the pond and its starry surface rest in perfect, undisturbed harmony, allowing every part of you to release completely into deep relaxation. Only the gentlest awareness remains now, the pond's dark waters holding the dimmed starlight with such tender devotion that the reflections seem to dissolve slowly into the stillness. Their presence, a soft, constant reminder of the safety held within the night. The sounds have vanished entirely into the hush, leaving nothing but the profound quiet that cradles the scene with loving care. Your awareness rests here so openly and effortlessly, simply present with the space itself, the pond a quiet anchor that supports the deepest surrender as your breath continues its slow, natural rhythm without any effort. The gentle awareness of the pond and its surroundings continues with the utmost softness, the star reflections on the water fading further into near invisibility, their faint glow blending seamlessly with the dark surface where everything feels suspended in peaceful emptiness. The surrounding darkness wraps the entire area in a protective veil, the edges of the pond and the grasses no longer distinct, but part of one vast, calm space that invites complete rest. There is only this tender, quiet observation now, where almost no activity lingers, allowing the mind to soften and drift in the warm comfort of the night. As moments extend in their unhurried, endless feel, the awareness of the small pond becomes even gentler and more diffuse, the starlight reflections existing as the softest whispers on the water, barely present yet offering a subtle sense of the space's serene beauty. The air remains cool and still, its subtle scent a faint companion to the quiet that fills everything, supporting the profound relaxation that has settled so completely over your body. Your eyelids feel so heavy now in the kindest way, the gentle awareness requiring nothing more than this open, effortless presence as sleep draws nearer with tender care. The space around the pond holds only this almost imperceptible awareness, the water surface a dark mirror of stillness where the stars rest in their faintest form, the entire scene a world of pure tranquility that asks for nothing while giving the deepest peace. The darkness feels warmer and more embracing, cradling the pond in your resting form in layers of safety, where everything is softened to its most gentle state. There is no movement, no sound, only this quiet awareness of the peaceful pond and its starry surface, guiding you safely into even deeper calm. This gentle awareness lingers with such kindness, the pond existing as a silent, beautiful presence in the heart of the night, its reflections of stars now the softest hints of light that blend into the vast stillness without any disturbance. Your body lies so completely at ease, every breath a slow, comforting wave that aligns with the profound quiet of the space, allowing all remaining thoughts to dissolve harmlessly into the tender darkness. The night holds you both with infinite care, the gentle awareness of the pond a final, loving companion that eases you toward the edge of deep, restorative sleep. As the night descends into its softest form, almost no activity remains around the small pond, only this gentle, open awareness of the space itself, where the star reflections rest in near silence on the calm water, the entire atmosphere rich with peace and protection. You remain safely in bed, simply present with this quiet scene that surrounds you with such warmth, inviting complete surrender as everything softens further into the welcoming stillness of night. the gentle awareness continues to fade ever so slowly, the pond and its starry surface becoming a distant, peaceful memory in the mind's eye, held in the profound quiet that supports your deepest relaxation and prepares the way for sleep to arrive with the tenderest care. In the final, softest whisper of the night, you rest with such complete and effortless surrender in your bed, your body feeling wonderfully heavy and deeply cradled as the gentle covers hold you in their warmest, most loving embrace, guiding you toward the edge of peaceful sleep. The small pond now rests in utter, profound tranquility, where even the gentlest awareness of the space itself begins to dissolve slowly into the vast, welcoming darkness, leaving only the faintest, most tender traces of its presence. The reflections of the stars on the water's surface have softened to the barest tints of light, barely perceptible as they blend completely into the calm, dark expanse, fading like distant dreams into the stillness. The pond lies so peacefully now, its surface a mirror of perfect quiet, where the starlight exists as the softest, almost imaginary glow, dissolving gently without any remaining movement or sound to interrupt the deep hush. The surrounding space feels entirely at rest, the grasses and banks no longer distinct, but merged into one vast, protective darkness that cradles everything with infinite tenderness. There is only this final dissolving awareness, where the pond and its starry surface begin to slip away like a thought gently releasing into sleep, inviting your breathing to slow to its slowest, most natural rhythm as every part of you lets go completely. As you lie there with eyes now fully ready to close, the scene softens further into quiet dissolution, the faint reflections of stars on the water fading like the last gentle sigh of night, their presence melting seamlessly into the profound calm where nothing remains to hold or observe. The air feels so still and cool, its subtle fresh scent from the pond now a distant, comforting memory that drifts away without effort, leaving only the warm safety of rest. Your awareness rests so openly and effortlessly here, simply allowing the gentle image of the pond to dissolve slowly, like mist rising softly from the water surface and disappearing into the night sky. The final traces of the scene continue their tender fading, a small pond becoming a quiet, beloved memory that slips away with such kindness, the star reflections dissolving completely into the dark stillness as the entire space releases into peaceful emptiness. Sounds have long since vanished, and even the gentle awareness of the water and its edges softens until it feels like a distant, loving whisper that no longer needs to be held. Your body lies so safely supported every breath, a slow, effortless wave that carries you deeper into the warm comfort surrounding you, where the night holds you with the gentlest care. This closing awareness of the pond and its starry surface dissolves even more softly now, like the final pages of a quiet story gently turning and fading from view, the reflections of stars no longer visible, but felt as a subtle, peaceful echo that melts away into the vast tranquility. The darkness feels warmer and more embracing than ever, wrapping the entire night in layers of tender protection, where nothing remains but deep, restorative calm. Your eyelids grow so heavy with the kindest weight, the gentle memory of the pond slipping away naturally as sleep begins to draw you in with its soft, inviting arms. As the moments stretch into their final, endless softness, the small pond and its reflections of stars dissolve completely into the quiet night, leaving only the profound stillness that surrounds you so completely, a safe and loving space where every tension has melted away. The cool air and fresh scent have faded into gentle nothingness, the water's surface now imagined as perfectly still and dark, merging with the vast peace that fills everything. There is only this tender release now, the scene becoming a soft, distant thought that drifts away like a leaf, floating gently on still water, disappearing without trace. Your resting form feels so wonderfully at ease, held safely in bed as the final awareness of the peaceful pond softens and dissolves, inviting you to let go fully into the deep, welcoming sleep that waits with open, caring arms. The night itself seems to breathe one last, slow sigh of comfort. The starry reflections long since faded into the calm darkness where everything rests in perfect harmony. No thoughts remain, only this gentle dissolution, like the pond's surface becoming one with the quiet sky above, all boundaries softening until only peace exists. And these final whispers, the gentle observation of the small pond and its starry surface fully releases, dissolving like the softest mist into the night's tender embrace, leaving you floating safely in the warm, protective quiet where sleep arrives with the gentlest touch. The reflections of stars have become part of the vast stillness. The water and the space around it now a beautiful, fading memory that carries no weight, only love and calm. Your breathing slows to its deepest, most natural rhythm, each exhale a soft release that guides you further into rest. The night holds you so completely now, the peaceful scene of the pond having gently dissolved into the profound darkness. Its quiet beauty a final, loving gift that eases every part of you into deep, restorative sleep. Everything softens completely, the gentle awareness fading away like the last starlight disappearing from the water's surface, leaving only safety, warmth, and the kindest invitation to drift off. You are held here with such tender care, the stillness of night wrapping around you like the softest blanket, guiding you safely into sleep. And so, as the final moments soften into nothing, the small pond and its gentle reflections of stars dissolve fully into the peaceful dark, leaving you resting so deeply, so safely, drifting gently, drifting softly into the warm and welcoming embrace of sleep. Where are you drifting over tonight? Let the weightlessness take over your body. If this story helped you find peace, please consider subscribing for more nightly journeys. Sleep well, traveler.